You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Whatever.
Welcome to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton and your host, Jeremiah Jennings. That's what you say, right? We're here today doing a little podcast recap. Jeremiah called me out and said the show that we just did on his show wasn't good enough to go on my show.
So we're going to make a really good one.
Lord knows what Jeremiah just is going to be doing now.
We're post 10:45 folks PM.
Is that what it is? What that time it is?
Which means Brian has this gloss over his eyes.
I love it, dude. I'm tired, bro.
Blake is ready to go.
Blake feeds off the energy too.
Oh yeah.
Like if you get me going, then Blake's like a hype train. It gets the people going, you know. So
I've never met that's English. I've never met someone that will hype you up more with a laugh than Pat. When Pat gets going,
dude, Pat's hilarious.
His laugh kills me.
Pat and Ken both. It's like a synergy, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
Like they're in unison, but when Pat gets going, it's so bold. It's like he's coming at you with his laugh. I can't control myself.
Well, at dinner, by the way, Blake Albertson's here, by the way, B&B Lawn Care. How you doing, Blake?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, bro. We just got off the heels of LAL 2024. We just did a really fun almost hour long debrief with Jeremiah Jennings on the Growing Green podcast. We'll go listen to that for sure. You probably hear a lot of content, forgive me, from myself and everybody the next week, go figure, doing debriefs off of LAL. But it was a good time. Phenomenal time.
It's worth debriefing. Everybody's going to have a different opinion on it.
I mean, super humbling time, super great time. I'm not going to do a huge pitch here. Obviously, a lot of you guys were there. You're probably back on the grind, just like all of us on Monday here today, doing leaves or get ready for snow, all that mess. So forgive us if we're going to just throw up on you about LAL for the next week, about over the last weekend. But I think it's deserving. I mean, my gosh, the speakers, it's not like Liz and I put on the event, and I say that super humbly, like for real. It was just the content from the speakers was just world class. So I'm humbled, I'm thankful, I'm excited, I'm pumped. I'm also exhausted. Obviously, it just spent, from the weekend, and it was so good. But when we're at dinner with Pat Murray and Ken Deemer, they run a company called Local Roots over in Pittsburgh, doing what, like $8 million?
Yeah,
$8+ million, and I'm getting to know them more and more, obviously, and I got to do a spring shop tour with them, and they were just phenomenal dudes. And so we went after lunch. I had a great 2-hour conversation with them, just phenomenal dudes. I'm like, these guys have to come in to share. And they do a lot of coaching. They have a program called Forward Coaching, and the whole joke on Sunday morning was, follow me if you want to do reverse coaching. We'll take you backwards, but listen to them if you want to go forward. And it was a really, really good time. But at dinner, Pat was making me laugh. I was making them laugh. Caleb Allman's we're all just chuckling, dude. It's 10 o'clock at night. We're all slap happy probably. And Pat Murray said something like, Ken's autistic too, right? And I go, what do you mean too? And Caleb's like, oh, don't feed Brian right now. He's also got the tism, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm laughing. I look at Ken and I go, dude, I knew there's a reason I liked you, beyond the obvious. And so we're laughing. Pat Murray's laughing. We're about to pee our pants, laughing at dinner. That's how much laughter was going on. My cheeks hurt, when you're belly laughing. Yeah. You're just you don't want to even stop laughing. And then I was making some things that did not come out right because you're tired. And so I'm saying these lines and they just didn't come out right. And so they're laughing more. And I'm like, I didn't mean it that way. And then Mark Bradley's looking at me and I'm like, God, don't say anything stupid, Brian,
This is how you know how hard they're laughing. Mark Bradley is the on the planet anyone I've ever talked to. He focuses on this conversation more than anyone I've ever met.
Very intentional human being.
He's in a conversation with you. He is locked in on you.
Locked in, bro.
There's nothing distracting him. He was in a one-on-one conversation and he stopped and turned and looked to make sure everything was okay.
I was locked up.
Like he genuinely was concerned. He was like, "Are y'all okay over there?"
He's like, "What's so funny over here?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Mark, I can't tell you." Like, I'm not even going to say the stuff that I was saying because it's just.
Oh no, let's air it.
Let's air it. No way.
Let's air it.
No, dude.
Come to the Growing Green podcast if you would like to know.
You're ridiculous. There's no way.
Wednesday's show, the truth will be.
Dude, you cannot say. You cannot say. I'll copyright strike it. I'll pull it down, right, Blake?
There's nothing like that on podcast yet. So good luck.
Good Lord. There's no way, dude. You can't share. It was just the funniest.
I'll share it on the Brian's on Main's podcast.
It's so.
I'm gonna start that.
It's out of pocket, dude. Like it's just. That's why you have to come to these things in person. Like people are, it's unfiltered, or I know what they're saying or what they're thinking. Like, dude, no, like you got to go in person because not everything makes it to YouTube, right? Not everything makes it.
Yeah, even some information doesn't translate from video to being in person.
1,000%. Yeah. Or you hear something secondhand maybe later and you're like, well, that's what they meant, but it's like out of context.
Right.
So it doesn't really make any sense actually, but it's a good thought. And that's fine too, like replays or hearing podcasts or, debriefs. But it's just, folks, the stories were phenomenal. The relationships built were just second to none, and so, and actually we were talking about it a little bit on Jeremiah's podcast it's been a long couple of days, long couple of weeks, but again, you pour it all out at Equip Expo. You try to recharge a little bit between now and then. Then you get LAL and everybody's pouring it all out. I mean, everybody's spent. Everybody's just trying to encourage everybody and answer questions. And then we actually moved into our home, which is really, really cool. I'm sure Liz and I will probably do a podcast on that eventually here soon because I haven't even really hit reality yet. Like we're living in here. Like it doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. Like because we've walk through here as it's a construction site, but now I'm like, we're actually going to sleep here tonight, which is bizarre, so that's a huge 10 year in the making dream come true. Like I don't have the words to articulate I don't know the words I'm trying to say, like the gravity of what this dream means. Like, dude, we did it.
Yeah.
Like we did it against all odds, least likely people in America to probably succeed in business the last 10, 15 years. And made some success, quote unquote, out of it between that and the social media crap and building something, our dream home. I mean, it's phenomenal. And I'm in here and I'm like, I don't even know if it's even hit yet. I mean, of course, What do we do? First thing we do, put the couch together, order food, hang out. Everybody's having fun. Half the people go home. The other half are actually spending the night. And then we're recording a podcast because we're just excited to get back at it, and I'm like, wait a minute. I turned around earlier and when I was on your show, I'm like, there's a fireplace running. I was like, whose fireplace is that, bro? It's wild stuff. It's wild stuff. So it's been a long couple of days. We're pumped. Like I said, I'm fired up and I'm also exhausted at the same time. But it's fun to just hear how you guys took a lot out of the event. How so many people were just really encouraged from all the speakers and Mark, like you said earlier, it's just phenomenal time. Yeah, it's good, man.
How does it feel?
What's that?
To just get looked at like you did on my show.
Oh, I don't mind it at all.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Imagine this podcast, just silence.
Awkward silence doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Caleb can't stand it.
Really? Why is that? He doesn't feel like it makes the show
silence.
go on?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't think you have to keep talking to make a point. Do you know what I mean?
30 minutes goes by.
As he keeps talking.
Okay, well, we'll just talk to Blake. That's the best part about having multiple people on the show. So anyway, Blake, what did you get out of the conference? We'll keep it going, I guess. Is that what the kids say?
Dude,
So anyway, Jeremiah, back to you.
All right, see ya.
You knew it was coming, bro. I'm going to
That was low-lying fruit, Blake.
That was an easy one.
Yeah.
Walk right into that. If he's listened to the Brian's on Main's podcast before, he'd know.
You would know.
True, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say now. Dude, I said this on the Growing Green podcast. There's a lot of work to do. You can't just keep doing what you've always been doing. And every year we grow a little bit, right? And get better and try to fix inefficiencies and things. But until you be vulnerable, really know where you're at and where you want to go, and then ask people questions to get to where you want to go. You know, like you can't just make it up in your head.
Yeah, the facade, like the being vulnerable, like the veneer, right, of like what people projecting versus like where you're actually at.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I've been doing this since I was a kid.
Yeah,
I'm almost 30.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have a family. Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
you know what I mean? Like, I just, you think you know everything, right? And you whatever, but it's like, dude, if I want to go here, I have to open up. I have to know where I'm at, and I have to know where I want to go, and then I need help. You know, like we all need help. Like we all need to read books. We all need to learn, and come to these events, man. You if you don't, and you just do what you did next year and the next year and the next year, like you might make 10 more thousand, 20 more thousand, add 10 yards, 20 yards, 50 yards. But like, dude, there's a long road from 100 or 200 or 300,000 to 5 million.
You're probably listening to this podcast because you want to get better at the business of lawn care. If you have made the decision to go all in, then the whole ball of wax at L'EntreprenneurAcademy.com is the fastest route to starting strong and putting your company in the best position for success. The whole ball of wax is everything Brian Fullerton offers, with a few exceptions, at less than half the price of purchasing every training course, program, and resource individually. When you purchase the whole ball of wax, not only do you get instant access to everything on the site, along with a one-on-one coaching call with Brian, you get lifetime updates to all courses, and when new programs come online, those are yours for free. Pause the podcast, go to L'EntreprenneurAcademy.com, click on the store tab, or use the link in the podcast description.
You know, and there's just a lot of problems that need to be solved.
Here's the thing, though, that Mark's name's been said a billion times. If you can't get the hint yet, get around Mark Bradley in some way, shape, or form. He said this last night at dinner. It's going to kind of contradict what you said a little bit.
Yeah.
You get to 500,000. You only have to do that 10 more times to have a $5 million company. What you did to get there, you only got to do it 10 more times. Replicate it 10 more times, and you are running a $5 million company.
You can, like, you might be able to, like, do some things to get to, like, 500 in revenue.
That won't get
but
you
like
to,
it's like you're like building a house on like sticks. Is that the saying?
Correct. Yeah. You have to have a solid foundation.
But like
for
to
that
get to 5 million and replicate it, like he was saying, like you have to have a perfect system of 500,000, and then you can replicate the systems. But like you can't just build like a 5, 10, $20 million company on BS.
But it's not going to be it's not going to be perfect from the get go though.
Right.
That's the thing. You're going to mess up. You're going to fail. You're going to get things wrong. Like, you're not going to build 0 to 500 perfectly in the first 2 years. Like, it's just not going to happen.
But you know what I took from what he said? He didn't say this, but what I interpreted was that, like, some of those things that you're going to learn, even if you fail or mess up, is like building the foundation to a bigger company.
1,000,000%. Yeah. All day.
What do you mean more though? Like quantify that. What I mean, it's a great statement. But
let's say,
like what is that? Like personalize that for you.
Yeah, I mean, come back to me. Okay. I'm going to think on an example. I don't have one immediately.
Totally fair. One thing I just wanted to say, like, if you guys have never been to the event, I'm not, nobody's here to give you a pitch on coming up to Novi, Michigan and spending $1,000 and getting around everybody. I think it's a really good idea. I think it's a really good investment, but, if you don't want to, or you don't feel inclined to, that's totally fine. Everybody here listening in is at a different level in business, life, goals. You're trying to accomplish different things. You're listening to the podcast. It's Law's Lessons Life. You're like, hey, you know, some people need to figure out how to sharpen blades correctly. I always joke, and that's fine, of course. And and you do. There's actually a lot of merit to having sharp lawnmower blades. Go figure. But if you're also like, hey, I've got 7 employees, I'm trying to get to 10 because 10 will take me to 1.2 million. I'm having some employee drama, some challenges, some issues. What do I do? I need some leadership training and interpersonal skills. Yeah, we're going to help you with that too on the podcast. So everybody's different. Do you know what I mean? So don't think that if you're not there, we're beating you up or anything like that. It's a fun, safe environment here on the show. But that being said, like I do also want to just let you know, like if you listen to this podcast or you come to the event once, like you're no longer a civilian, bro. Like you're part of the community. You're part of the industry. Like I will challenge you to grow. I will expect that you grow. And that doesn't have to necessarily be top line, right? Like that kind of deal. But Jeremiah, you and I have talked about this many times. Like you are now charged with growth. You can no longer plead ignorance.
No, there's no.
Over the next 12 months after you come to LAL and say, well, I just didn't know better. Or I just didn't have access to support.
No.
That's not true anymore because Mark Bradley gave basically his cell phone, his email, and everything out to everybody. Sam Gamble gave his cell phone, email, and everything out to everybody. He literally, I think, told me he has like 52 weeks straight booked of Zooms based on that survey that he did.
He has to have.
Wow.
He had 125 people fill out that survey submission form in the first like half hour after his speech.
Yeah.
He put up a QR code and said, if you want time, email me.
Wow.
He's like,
He'll be finishing those up before next LAL.
he literally told me, he goes, I was at a conference with a couple hundred people just 2 weeks ago. And he said I had 7 people fill out the submission form. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, you want to see how many people filled out yours, here at your event? I go, yeah, sure, dude. And I'm like, please be 9. Please be 9 people. And he showed me, and it was like an Excel kind of a whatever database
It's
thing.
a Google Doc.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And he was just scrolling through it, dude. And I was like, oh my God. Like that just shows like how hungry the audience is for training, education, and really wanting to change their future. And that just, it's such a freaking awesome conversation. And then you got other people, literally, go ahead.
No, go.
Literally, dude, the other day, and I'll read this stuff out loud. I don't give a crap. Like, as all this is going on, I get a comment at 7:44 a.m. This came from that morning, Sunday morning after LAL. Look, it's Lion Brian. You're a joke, dude. A YouTube comment. And I'm like, I said, yeah, bud, 300 people at our conference last night, 100 million business represented on stage, folks coming 6 years straight, 500,000 followers on social. I'm doing 450 this year, 450 this year, 4 full-time guys. Yeah, we're a joke. You got it all figured out. You're right. I'm totally hoodwinking the entire industry and community by putting this event on, putting myself out front on YouTube. You're right, dude. You're right. I'm wrong. I'm lying, Brian. Like the audacity of the stupidity of some people out there.
Yeah, all I was going to say before you read that was, and it goes hand in hand, we still have more work to do. There were 250 people there.
For sure.
And only 120 filled out the thing. Mm-hmm. Wow, but there are not 250 people that filled out the thing.
Well, that was in the first half hour, to be fair, so hopefully more came.
Maybe.
Yeah. But
I hope that happens.
Yeah,
I hope that happens.
But if 50% of your audience wants to dig deeper and book us, it's an intimidating conversation.
It's an amazing number. I'm not taking away from that at all. I'm just saying, like, guys, you have access to that. Take action on it.
Right.
Like,
squeaky wheel. I always say squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yes.
Common phrase, common line out there. People are like, well, I don't want to bug you. Why?
He's offering.
Well, but think about it. Why would you not want to bug somebody?
Yeah.
Well, because I want them to think I'm pestering or being annoying. I promise you, if you ask for help to somebody who's got the heart of a teacher and wants to serve, they would be more than happy to pour out and to serve you and to help you and to give anything they can to help you get to the next level.
And you do something with it.
Yeah, as long as you reciprocate.
Yeah.
I said this on your show. I said don't be an asshole. Like if you're just going to keep asking questions and not grow, eventually you will get that cut off.
Yeah.
Right.
But their time's too valuable. They're not going to keep giving you time that you're not doing anything with.
Yeah. Like because that mentor is looking to sow into fertile soil.
Yep.
Right. So if you're not going to yield, a harvest, quote unquote, with that person's time, then like you're not going to be entitled to that. So like the fact that many people took Sam's offer.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And the fact that some, like you said, it wasn't 250 out of 250, quote unquote, right? Like, but obviously there'll be dozens of other conversations and follow up, and maybe Sam wasn't their guy or something, right? Maybe it was Jeff, but that's awesome. But it's like, it's a phenomenal opportunity to get around people like that and to, like you said, have some accountability. You said that on your show on the Growing Green podcast, like having an accountability of a group like that. It was just phenomenal. So really, really good time. Great event. Great speakers. What's your guys' final thoughts or final thoughts? Do you have a thought back from your analogy earlier? Or?
I have an example that was given today during a mastermind. And as simple as it might seem, we had a conversation tonight at dinner about kind of recapping things, and we were talking about bookkeepers, and then I was like, yeah, until you explain to me, like, there's no book. Like, once I hit a certain amount of money, it's not like somebody comes to you and is like, hey, here's the next steps. This is, you've achieved this. Here's what you should do.
Right.
There's none of that, dude.
Not in self-employment.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, until somebody, which was you in this example, explained to me, I'm like, dude, you need a bookkeeper. This is why. This is the benefits. And now I do it. Now it's just a regular part of my business, right? It's a stepping stone. And then somebody chimed in and was like, yeah, somebody didn't know that you could keep gas cans on the trailer, so you'd have to go fill up at the gas station every time you're out of gas.
Yeah, right.
You know, but it's like, some people might chuckle at that.
Yeah.
But if you had no access to know that was a possibility, we all were at that point one time.
Yeah.
Right. And so, to take it a little bit further, an example that Mark gave was, at the end of the day, your guys are, it's like, when's the best time to fuel up, right? And that's a question we hear a lot. But he said, my guys ran out of gas in the middle of the yard. Well, whose problem is that? Mm-hmm. Like, who's at fault for that? You know, it's the business owner. It's not your guy didn't stop at the gas station before. You don't have a system. Mm-hmm. You don't know, your guys don't know when they should do that, right? And so his solution was, at the end of every day, no matter if the gas can's half full or empty, they take the gas cans off of the trailer, put them next to a fuel cage, go into the fuel cage, grab new gas cans that are all filled. So tomorrow they're ready to go. They don't stop at the gas station, waste time there. They're not guessing. They're not running out of gas in the middle of the day. It's a system. You put it into place, get a fuel cage, have a system to refuel it, whether it's you or you hire somebody else to do that. And there you go. That's the system of the company. Nobody runs out of fuel on the yards. And you don't have to worry about the gas stations or when to do it. That's your system. And then you implement it, and it's set in stone, and that's a stepping stone. And you move on to the next problem. Mm-hmm. And so, dude, did you ever think of that? If nobody ever told you that, would you think that's a dang good solution?
No.
Yeah. And that's just one like simple thing.
Right.
But when you go to like actually growth, it's like, you just don't know what you don't know. And you're not at fault for that, but dang it, if there's an opportunity for a couple $100,
yeah,
to learn things.
Well, somebody pointed on the corner, the like Troy Clark and stuff, came on in for a quick minute, and somebody's like, that's $100 million corner over there. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 different speakers, in the corner just doing a little huddle. And
that was me.
Was that you? Was that you? This is the whole I heard a guy once say, and then you go, as I was saying the other day, and then like the third one's like, as I've always said.
Yeah.
Right. So like I heard a guy once say, that was you earlier too. Mm. That's good stuff. Look at folks, I'm fried. Okay. My brain's gone. It's goo. It's goo from like the year. It's goo from Equip, obviously still. And then you come into this and I'm just like, yeah, there's work to do. That's a fact.
But yes, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yes, it was $100 million. It was a $700 million circle. Like, it was ridiculous.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. But we can also teach you how to sharpen your lawnmower blades.
But dude,
too.
like, you realize like, they talk about like gatekeepers in companies, like when you're trying to reach like a leader in that business, like these guys are awesome. Like, you probably could get a hold of them, but I'm saying like, that caliber of person, like, you can't just get access. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not just going to call or email your way to getting that information.
Yeah. Most of them are unavailable.
Yeah.
Yeah. For real. Yeah. They just are. It's just not an effective use of their time, like Jeremiah said. Mm-hmm. But then when Sam comes in here and we're pouring into him and he wants to pour back into us and he can, and he wants to help. It's just phenomenal that 125 people took the opportunity to say, hey, I'd like to book some time with his coaching, which Sam's extremely passionate about right now. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to be selfish either, but I mean, like at the end of the day, like if Sam's doing a lot of speaking lately and he's got those slots available, I'd rather have him be quote unquote our folks.
Yep.
So somebody else's organization.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, Launchpreneur Academy people are going to book that up because we're a hungry group. We want to learn, So, Lion Brian, like comments like that. I'm just like, dude, get some perspective. Go check out something that we're putting together. And if you don't think it's worth your money, as I say every time, I will give you your money back. And I'm just saying, like, you come to this event, I've never had anybody ask for their money back. And I've always heard people only say, I can't believe you're only charging $300 for this. This is worth $1,000. This is worth $10,000. I'm like, I know, but I didn't have $10,000 or even $1,000 as Brian of Brian's Out Maintenance 10, 15 years ago. So I couldn't afford it. So thank God it is only $200-$300 because then I could have actually made it. And my gosh, where like my world would be today if I was listening to guys like Mark today and yesterday, when I was 18, 19, 20 years old, like some of these kids were just ridiculous. The trajectory that their life is going to be at, in the next couple of years, hanging around like this group of audience and this group of people, whether they're on stage or not, just some of the peers at their table.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. It's phenomenal. So again, my heart's full. I'm exhausted. Like I said, admittedly, like Liz and I, Adam, the guy from Boss, that came in to share, he said, did he just get married? I think like a year ago or something he was saying.
Similar. Yeah. Something close to that.
They had like a couple hundred people at their wedding or something. He was saying
500.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's kind of like, we only had like 300 people at the conference, if you will. But he's like, it's kind of like Brian and Liz putting on a wedding every year. He goes, I will assure you that's a one and done for me.
Yeah.
And I said, and that's the analogy actually, when he sat down next to me, we were eating lunch after the break. And I said, that's the exact analogy I use. I said, we put on a 300-person wedding, quote unquote, every year, like in our spare time, year after year after year. He goes, dude, if it wasn't for how many people you're helping, he's like, would you keep doing it? I go, absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
Not to like hype you up, but like if everything wasn't planned and so smoothly ran, like I know you say the suburban people, like, dude, they're awesome. Like
they're great.
There's zero hiccups, but like there's no distractions. Like there's nothing taking away from what we're supposed to be listening to, and that's like,
this year was awesome.
You know that. I mean, you're the one that does it, but I'm saying like, we don't realize like how being there as an attendee, like how difficult that is to not have like hiccups.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, the AV bill comes in, tomorrow. It's a chunk of money, but, no, everybody, there's a 10. I always say like, everybody just be a 10 at what you do and the event will be running at a 10, like the AV guy's a 10, this guy's a 10, this guy's a 10. Everybody just do your 10, be in your lane, right? I don't need speakers setting up chairs. I don't need guys setting up chairs, serving the food, right? Like everybody's got their role. But again, you guys have a role too when you come there. It's learn. It's be open.
Yeah.
Come with your glass empty, right? Because you poured it out all year to you, your team, your spouse, right? So then when you come back to that environment, you can get refilled up. So, but if you just come and you didn't do anything all the last 12 months, quote unquote, and your cup's already full, like you can't pour more water into that cup.
Or if you're just trying to hate because you haven't experienced anything.
Yeah.
Like you can't come and be vulnerable, open up, really experience it and know what you're like. Somebody said this. I'm pulling a Brian here. I don't remember who said it. There was a lot of things that happened this weekend, right? And a lot of information. But like, like we all have that feeling, like a gut feeling in a way. What's going on? Like what issues you're having in the business or in your life? Like we all wake up and we're like, dang it, there's that thing, So like coming here and like finding the solutions to those. Cause if you're just hustling every day and you don't find the solution, like you're not going to.
100%. Yeah.
It was good. It was a very good event. I went off without a hiccup this year, at least a known hiccup that I was aware of. Like it was to me, it's the best year with AV. It's great every year. I don't remember one hiccup this year at all. The AV it was great. And that's a ton of moving parts.
Yeah, it really
is. Like people on and off the stage,
hundreds of people trampling over a cord.
Yeah, microphone locations changing. Like that's a nightmare for him. They did amazing. Food was great as always. Like those are the things that really those little details truly do make and break events.
Really do. Yeah.
They really, it's the things that go. They kind of go unnoticed when they go so smoothly.
Yeah.
But when they mess up, you're like, this sucks. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
They don't get the credit they deserve when they go smoothly. So
the whole team did a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, from anybody who put up a banner to a sign to work in the registration table, Bethany, our assistant, puts out so much stuff for the event, obviously. And she's phenomenal. We love her. Obviously, she's our assistant, and she does so much for the event. Like, I could brag on her for forever. I mean, she deserves it. We're just thankful. We're thankful for the whole team of people that put this whole thing together.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. If you guys have never been for, I invite you guys to come check it out. We'll run it back, and I'm sure it'll be the next. Next year will be the best year we've ever done. That whole deal, and we'll find some great people that come on in to share. But I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate the affirmations on the event, that it was a great time, and thanks for making the investment for you guys as well for coming on up. Obviously, everybody there paid their way. Like, nobody gets the friends and family discount because, like, where do you draw the line? Oh, that guy's a YouTuber, that guy's an Instagrammer, that guy's a podcaster, this guy's got a $3 million business, but he brought 5 people. Somebody brought 8 people. They can bear brought 2 tables worth of people, or I guess 1 whole table worth of people.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, you get a discounted.
I didn't realize he brought that. That's awesome. He brought his whole team.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Eikenberries.
That's super cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like you get a discount by bringing more people, obviously, but everybody paid their own way.
Yeah,
so it's just like it's a phenomenal time. It's great people. I'm just so thankful, dude. Like, what is the odds, bro? Like, what is the likelihood of making YouTube videos? My business when I got on YouTube, I was making like 75 grand gross, bro. Like, we're talking very, very tiny little business. Nothing real to write home about. And Liz and I were broke. We had nothing. We knew no one. I didn't know Sam Gamble. I didn't even know Sam existed until like 18 months ago, 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Bizarre.
You don't get access.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even if I did know of him, what do you want to knock on the front door?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, guys. Is your president in here? I'd like to talk to him.
Yeah, there's hundreds of employees. Like, dude, what are you doing?
Like, kick rocks, dude.
Yeah, literally. That's like a trespassing thing. Go home. Go home, kid. So, again, like I just hope to again prove like we're here for you guys. We love you guys. Anything we can do for you guys, we're always here. Just call, text, email, whatever you need, whatever you got. We're always here to answer the call for you and hopefully help you guys out. So it was good. Anything else you guys want to share? I think we'll probably lock it down there. Short and sweet one today. It's 11 o'clock at night. You got an early flight. What, 3, 4? You got to get up at 3:30. Out at 4.
Yeah.
You're dipping at what, 2?
Yeah.
Do you need a ride tomorrow?
Yeah, bro.
I got you.
You got me?
I already told Liz I'm taking you.
Little Tesla whip or something?
If you want to. You want to drive it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
I like it. Can we put on the song where it's like, dun, 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 and it like dances? Does yours do that?
The Christmas mode?
Yeah.
I think it does. I don't know how to do it. I think you used to have to like hit a sequence of buttons, but now I think it's just like a button on the like in the infotainment dash. Like there's a button that you just hit. Before you used to like the Mario controller, like up, down, left, right, jump,
like a
jump.
secret pattern. Yeah.
It really was. But I think now they just have like Christmas mode.
That's funny.
I don't know. We'll do it one more time. I'm probably going to get rid of it next year and probably buy a Tahoe, Suburban, or a Escalade or something like that. If the family keeps getting bigger, we're due for a larger car.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. Dream car, love it, great, amazing, no regrets, the whole deal. But it also only seats 4. And if we have 5, 6, 7, whatever,
Served its purpose
for sure. Yeah, it's been a good car for 4 years. But
no, dude, you got to go to a school bus.
School bus?
I'm one more kid away from a school bus.
You probably are, bro. You probably are. Get the Sprinter van,
Yeah.
I had a friend. His family had, I think he had like 6 brothers and sisters plus him, so 7 plus mom and dad. What's that? 9. So like they literally had the good old Econoline. It was like an E150 or E350.
Yeah.
The double white door. The candy van, kind of deal.
the kids probably loved it. There's no seatbelts in those.
Well, but then we would hang out with them, right? So I'm number 10 or 11 with my brother. So like we were hanging out with them, their family. So you could, I think, fit like 13 people in that.
A lot of people in that.
So we're like the Brady Bunch going down the road to like a camp, hanging out with them. And I'm like, bro, it's 13 people in this
You're
vehicle.
just going out to dinner or something and pull up in that thing.
Oh my gosh. I was like, this is a lot of people. So Yeah, you're right. Anything more than 4, 5, 6, you're going to need bigger vehicles. So, but
problem is Escalades don't dance.
They don't
like
dance.
a Tesla.
That's true. That's true. But they are really cool looking, and they go really fast if you get the V engine. Corey Ballard's got the V.
Oh, does he?
Oh my God,
that's sweet.
Picked me up in it at the airport under the like parking, not parking garage, but like the what's it called when you're departures?
Yeah, the awning.
Yeah, the awning. Yeah. So he like pulls in, he's badass with the 26-inch rims, and he just comes in, and like. I know exactly what that is. I heard it coming a mile away. Of course, it's Corey coming out. So I was like, that's Corey. Of course. Why wouldn't it be Corey? He's awesome. So he gets in. He's like, you good, man? I'm like, yeah. He goes, sit back. I'm like, oh, man, I need to get rich. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was good stuff. But yeah, anyway, I don't know where those stories came from, but having fun. Life is good. No complaints. Thank you guys for the love, the prayers, the support.
Thanks for hosting. Thanks for hosting everybody. I think that people's lives are changed. I actually know that. Like, I know personal stories of lives that literally are changed forever.
Dude, I heard some wild stories.
Yeah, literally changed forever. And so
that's awesome.
It never feel too low to come. If you feel like you're in your deepest, darkest places, come. Get around a community of people that can help you. Because there is light there's light right on the other side with people that are willing to help you. And this is an industry, I say this all the time, an industry unlike I've ever seen before. People say it that have professionally spoken across the industries in business in general. Like, there is a special community here of kind-hearted people. Jeff Joyner speaks to thousands of people every year in hundreds of industries. He says there's no one that he's seen like this community.
I believe it.
They're not all like Brian's comment section.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. You got your bad apples, right? And they're going to let themselves known. But the majority, kind-hearted, loving, give you the shirt off their back people that will help you in any way they can.
And I guarantee you, like, even me, like, in these, like, when I, volunteer, like, dude, it takes crazy, like, humility and, like, vulnerability to, like, tell your problems, and what's going on and what you failed at or just made mistakes at in business. Yeah. And I guarantee you, if anybody chirped up one bit of negativity towards somebody trying to get better, dude, I guarantee you Brian personally would kick him out. Anybody teaching the class or speaking or leading the class, dude, you're out. Dude, I guarantee you there's zero
tolerance policy.
Zero tolerance that anybody, attendees, Brian, anybody putting it on or speaking, dude, those people will be out. That is not what this is about.
They wouldn't be within 100 miles of this.
There's anyway. I didn't hear 1 ounce of negativity ever being here. Mm-hmm. And that is like,
it's Camelot, bro, for sure. And that's not because of necessarily Liz and I. That's because of everybody coming in. Like, you guys make the event great. Like, that's what the wildest part for Liz and I. I'm like, dude, this thing is like, you couldn't stop it if you want. Kind of a deal.
Yeah, know? Even if you weren't there or whatever, like, in the hallways, dude. No.
Next November,
nobody's
people be like,
making fun of you for being where you're at.
No, we're all transparent and candid and honest. Like, we start the masterclass on Sunday with that. Hey, where are you at? What's your revenue? Nobody's judging. We just need to know so we know how to, like, answer, quote unquote, where you're at.
Next November, you could have the event and not be there, and it would still be fine.
If we didn't do the event, you guys would all say next November, hey, where are we all getting together?
Yeah.
For real. Like, these are solid, awesome relationships, man. And not just, like, again, like, you guys wanted to hear Sam or Troy or Mark. Like, I want to see you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of y'all, dude. Like, we're doing the same freaking thing. That's the exciting part. And I hope we continue to grow together and make 2025 our best year ever. I really do believe that. We need to. By the way, do you guys got anything else? You want to land the plane? You guys good?
You smell that new heat kicking on?
New heat is like kind of burny.
Yeah.
Burning like the oil or something.
Yep. Smell it.
Quick last note. I just thought about this a couple quick minutes ago. Real time elections tomorrow. Please go vote.
Yes.
Please go vote. I actually, my painter doesn't believe the same way I do on a bunch of stuff. We both sat Indian style in my garage the other day for about 25 minutes talking politics because he was undecided. He votes one way against, quote unquote, what I do or how I believe. And I said, I'm not here to sway you at all. Let's just talk. Because he was like, help me make a decision.
Dude, it's wild to be 3 days before the election and be undecided.
For sure, what he was.
But most people just don't go.
Yeah, a lot of people.
But he said, he goes, what do you think about not voting? And I said, here's what I will say. I'm not going to tell you which way to vote. I'll say vote your values. But I will say, don't waste your vote by not voting.
Yeah.
I will say that. I said, I will not tell you which way to vote, but I will tell you, I implore you, I strongly do believe, do not waste your vote by not voting. Yeah. Because people died for that, right, for real. So I think that's a different level than just, picking left or right. All things being said, please exercise that right. Again, Absolutely. Whether you agree with how I do or don't, or maybe you think what I think and maybe you don't, I love you, I respect you, no big deal. Whatever happens on the 5th, I guess, the day after on Wednesday, yeah. You know what? I'm still going to be an American and I'm going to have a president, whatever happens January, whatever 20th, okay? No big deal. Life is going to go on. My business is still going to grow. But I just want to encourage you guys, please go vote sometime on Tuesday. All right? So don't squander that privilege that you have. So just a quick little note there. I'm big on that. I do love politics. I'm a Politico. Most of you guys know where I stand. But please go out there, vote your values, quote unquote, at the polls. And that's it. That's all I got.
I love it.
Cool.
Beautiful.
All right. Really quick. I always love ending where can people find you in case they don't know you. A lot of new listeners always to the show, but Jeremiah?
Growing Green Podcast, Growing Green Landscapes on Instagram.
Blake Albertson, at BB Lawn Care KC, BB Lawn Care on YouTube.
Awesome.
B&B Lawn Care Podcast.
New shows quarterly, baby. We're due for one.
Yeah, dude,
it's coming. Dude, it's heating up, bro.
It's heating up. It's feeling the itch. We'll do one right now. We'll go do another one right now for yours. But all right, guys, over now. As the YouTubers say, right? Like, comment, subscribe. Leave us a review if you guys are enjoying the show. Appreciate you guys listening in. Love you. And we'll be back here on Wednesday. Have a great night.
Before you turn off the podcast, there are two things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Lawntrepreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.